Welcome to New Business in Later Life with me, Ildiko. I'm an entrepreneur, the routine queen, and the champion of thriving over 50. I'm obsessed with morning routines, energized living, and building businesses that work with your life, not against it. Each week, I share real-life stories from bold later life entrepreneurs who have said no thanks to retirement and hell yes to reinvention, while discussing good health routines for great business. Whether you are launching your first venture or scaling your encore, you are in the right place. Let's get you fired up, focused, and firmly in the driver's seat of your next chapter. Let's dive in. Let's see who we have today. From Radio 1 roadshows to rubbing shoulders with David Cassidy and John Travolta. My word, am I feeling jealous. My next guest's early career was straight out of the Pop Culture Hall of Fame. Kate presented on Wogan, delivered the local news. She hosted glitzy corporate events, but in a plot twist worthy of a soap opera, she then swapped the newsroom for, wait for it, a gentleman's club. Yes, you heard that right. Rest assured I'll be asking some questions too. These days, Kate has ditched the limelight, well, sort of, and now helps people find their next big adventure by helping them find their new home. Because whether it's on camera, on stage, or on your property search, Kate Bickford knows how to make things happen. She's a firm believer that people are far more capable than they think. And after hearing her story, you might just believe that too. Please welcome Kate Bickford, whose character is larger than life. Good afternoon, Kate. Welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me.
Let's talk business and business in later life. Please tell us what your newest business is and how old you were when you set it up.
Last year, 2024, I set up an estate agency.
Right.
With me, just me. I looked at it in 2023. In fact, I've been thinking about this for a very long time.
Okay, we can explore that in a minute.
2023, this company came across my lap because I was thinking it's expensive to set up an estate agency from scratch. I didn't necessarily want a high street presence because everyone goes to Rightmove, everyone goes to the portals, and even now Facebook, TikTok, bizarrely.
Yes, I've just learned that not too long ago that TikTok is now overtaken Google.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram. So agents are posting on those platforms because it gets in front of different eyes, and it might be that somebody is not necessarily looking to move now, but thinking about it in the future. Something they see on one of those platforms
will trigger a thought.
And it's a trigger, and therefore they then start that process. So I looked at it a little while ago, and then last year the timing was right. I'd finished a big renovation on our house, and that come to an end, and it was like, well, what do I do now? So me being me, I threw myself into this, and I'm absolutely loving it.
So, I was going to say, let's preempt the question, are you thinking of retirement? Because how old you are now?
I'm just 63.
You just turned 63,
July.
So...
Why would I want to retire? How dull would that be?
Fabulous. Your energy is amazing.
My husband's retired.
Okay, what does he do? Does he do what we imagine retirement to be? Just sit on the sofa and watch
No,
telly?
He plays golf. So
okay.
I now call him a professional golfer because occasionally he won a £50 Marks and Spencer's voucher the other day.
Okay.
So he does occasionally win, but he's a member in Cornwall of a fabulous golf course here, and will actually be the vice captain of the Vets come October. So he'll be spending even more time at the golf course, but that's fine.
I'll tell you what, it's a bit of physical exercise, company certainly.
And mental, because
mental health,
you've got to be strong mentally to do that. And especially when you're playing in a comp, although it's not like, it's not a massive competition, but you still want to win it.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about your husband. We are here to talk about you and your business, your new business in later life.
Yes, we digressed a little, didn't we? So I set this up last year under the banner of a company called EXP Realty.
Okay.
So obviously with the word realty, they started in the US in 2009. So they were US and Canada. And then in 2019, they used the UK as a test base to go overseas. So
it's an easy one because obviously the English-speaking audience.
Completely different setup for selling property. The Americans can't believe how long it takes us to actually, they can sell a property in like a week.
A couple of episodes ago, I spoke to a lady called Sue Bird, and she's into property, but she said even though she lives in Brussels, she's going to be buying property in the UK because in Belgium and France, it's even longer, like considerably longer. So for her, the UK is still the best market to do something.
Really? Oh, well,
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, it's much, much quicker in the US. So then they came to the UK, and we are now in 27 countries.
My word, wow.
As of this month. So Egypt is launching this month.
Wow. That's amazing. So obviously quite adaptable.
Yeah, it's a bit of a disruptor, which is probably why I like it.
Okay.
And it's a fantastic model, so people can start up their own business with very little outlay. And they have autonomy, they have control.
Okay.
And they are supported by this massive NASDAQ listed company called EXP Holdings.
Okay.
So I'm a very small little bit within that company.
Obviously set up as a sole trader then? Or
No,
an
limited.
agent?
No,
or is it a
limited.
franchise?
No, it's not a franchise, limited company. I am my own agency. So I decide who I work with, what fees I charge. And somebody, when I first started last year, said, what level of property are you going to be working with? And I said, I really don't mind. It could be a £200,000 first-time buyers or a £5 million house at Trianon. But if you're a knob, I'm not going to work for you.
This is the homeowners.
And you can be a knob with money and you can be a knob without money.
True.
So
people
for
are
me,
people, yeah.
But it is about that experience of selling a property. And it is the most stressful thing people go through because it's their biggest asset at whatever level you're at.
Or liability, but yeah.
And then to have somebody hold their hand and just tell them what the heck is going on. Because so many people complain that they don't get enough information.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I always say, and I probably still stand by it, that probably the biggest stress in house buying or selling, probably buying, is the solicitors because they drag their feet. But last year we were buying a property into our limited company as an investment, and it dragged on for over a year for a number of reasons. There were some complications. Never once, and I'm not kidding you, not one single phone call in the entire 13 months process did the agent call us to find out why we had a delay. Not once. So the solicitors were communicating, we were communicating with the seller, and then, between us, we were sort of rolling things on and dealing with everything as and when we had to.
Yeah.
There was a good communication channel between the owner and us, and the solicitors. The solicitors knew each other anyway, obviously.
Always helps, yeah.
And the agent never once called anyone to find out, because the owner said the same. I asked him at some point down the line, did the agent speak to you? No, he didn't.
So
not
no
once.
checking in
Nothing
at all.
For 13 months, not a single thing why we haven't exchanged or moved on yet. Interesting, isn't it? So what's your take on that?
I have no words.
So how do you deal with it? What's your process?
Well, I set up WhatsApp groups, depending on how my clients want me to communicate with them. Normally it's a WhatsApp group, so we put the sellers both in there and me. So even if I've got a case on at the moment where the house is in one person's name and not the other ones, but I said, look, let's include them in the conversation so they know what's happening as well. And you're not having to relay everything. And then any update goes in that, or I give them a call. So weekly, fortnightly maybe, they'll have a call even if there's not a lot going on. So,
I mean, they would kind of know because of the viewings, or are you talking about the post offer accepted process?
Yeah. So post that, then the negotiation happens, and I quite enjoy that bit.
Okay.
And it is a negotiation. So when one seller recently threw their toys out of the pram because the offer was so low, I said, no, hang on a minute, this is a negotiation.
Yeah.
And they're not going to offer what they're willing to pay.
Well, at the same time, they probably didn't advertise at the price that they really wanted because they knew that they might have to.
Well, it is a bit of a buyer's market at the moment. There's no getting away from it.
Okay.
So I said, look, we go back and we don't drop 25, we drop 10. So we're giving a little bit.
Yeah.
And
you
then
end up in the middle.
Ultimately, we end up with a price that the buyers are happy with and the sellers are happy with. And if the sellers aren't happy with it, they can always say no.
Absolutely.
And they have the power. So it's really up to them. My job is being the middle person between the two and trying to come to some agreement that both parties are happy with. I think sellers really do need to look at what they're asking for, because everybody says, oh, it's the agents that are upping the price. Do you know, a lot of the time it isn't. you go.
I was going to ask that because we are looking at the property right now, and we have absolutely no idea how it was priced. And my husband actually said that he did ask the agent, and the agent came up with the price. But when you look, it's a business they are selling really, and it's kind of like, hang on a minute. No, when you do the calculations, that's just pie in the sky. But now the owners are expecting that, and it's quite substantial.
It's in their head. That's in their head. That's what they're going to get. I went to see one a couple of months ago now, actually, and I had an email yesterday from the lady saying, I'm now ready to sell. I'd like to put it on. It was it's a first-time buyers type. I'd like to put it on at 250,000. So I've emailed and gone back and just said, look, I think that's pushing the envelope. I don't think you'll get that. And it will just languish on the market and you'll end up reducing it. And that's not a good look. You're probably looking at between 210 and 225.
At most, yeah.
At most, potentially put it on at, maybe 225, 230. But 250.
Did she take your advice?
I don't know. I've not had a. This was only yesterday, and I have checked my emails today, but there is nothing from her. So, my job isn't to tell people what they want to hear. My job is to help them sell their home and move on to their next adventure.
Yeah, give them the reality.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a bit of a perhaps controversial question for you. So, as the agent, you are kind of, at the end of the day, you're working for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you want the most commission. So it's entirely in your interest to get the highest price for the property.
No, it's entirely in my interest to help my clients.
So which one is your client? Is it the seller?
Depends. If I'm working as a buyer's representative, then I'm working for the buyer.
So you can do either.
I can do both. If I'm working for the seller, then they are my client.
Oh, okay. So when you do the negotiation, you represent the seller then?
Yes.
And of course, you want the highest price possible.
Yeah, I want the highest price that like they do. The market will dictate what the house is worth.
Absolutely. It's still only worth as much as someone pays for it.
Exactly. It's only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for the house. So with the one that we're completing on next week, the one I had to talk down to say this is a negotiation.
Right.
And we sort of met on the seller's side of the coin. It's higher than lower. But I said at one point, what do you need as opposed to what do you want?
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't quite realise how much that would resonate with them. So the following day, we had another conversation and they said, okay, well, this is the number we've got down on our piece of paper as to what we need. What do you think?
That's like that absolute bottom line.
Yeah. What do you think the buyer would go to? And I gave them the number that was on their piece of paper.
Suddenly so different.
And I think the thing is that when people get a number in their head of that's what they're going to get, they then start looking at properties.
Yes, of course.
With that number in mind.
Yes.
But when you're in this sort of market and your price is being dropped and cut, then people don't think about dropping the next house they're going to buy.
Yeah, they are afraid that they're going to have to pay the full price.
Actually, it evens out a bit because if everybody's dropping a bit, you get the deals done.
Brilliant. So what have been the best moments of setting up this business? You mentioned already that you've been thinking about doing this like the estate agency for a long time. So how long can you pinpoint roughly where it started?
I don't know.
10,
8,
15,
10 years,
8, yeah. Okay, that is quite a long time.
Because we've had an interest in property. I mean, I can go into property. I'm quite lucky in a way that I'll go in and go, well, if we take out that wall and that wall. And
you see, you've got the vision.
I can see it. I love that.
Yeah,
and that's what we did
where
we are now. And I just said to my husband, trust me, that's coming out. Those stairs are coming out. So we literally opened it all up. And he doesn't have that. So I quite enjoy that. So I enjoy that bit. And we've bought and sold and we've got, it's not luck, it's work. You work for it, don't you? So we've got a couple of buy-to-lets as well. They're permanent, lets. They're not holiday lets. They're not in Cornwall, actually. So we've done a lot with property. And it was sort of the next step. And I'm a people person. Okay. So
I suppose you really have to
be. It just seemed natural. But the one thing I did not anticipate was the depth of relationship that I'm building with my clients.
Every single time?
Yeah, and that I've found, and I knew you obviously get close because you're selling their biggest asset. So
yes,
you're
and
bound
it's
to be
their
having,
home.
yes, it's their home, and it could be emotional, for whatever reason.
I can imagine that. Yes.
Yeah, and so I didn't quite get the depth of the relationship that I would be having with those clients.
And is that good, bad?
No, it's good. It's good because you want to do the best for them, and holding their hand through a process that they've done before, but they probably haven't done in a long time. So things have changed, like the biometric checks that you do on your phone. It's not just a piece of paper now, and you've got all that stuff to sort out because of anti-money laundering.
How do you deal with all the technology side of running the business?
We have a great CRM, and this is part of EXP. This is part of, it's like estate agency in a box.
Okay.
If I put it like that,
it's kind of like
everything is done. So our CRM system is the most amazing piece of kit. Everything goes on there, and then all the checks and balances that we have to do all come via EXP. So we're reminded when we have to redo it annually, and all of that is done. So we then have to do it, but there's a bit of a nudge. Hey, come on, you've got to redo this.
Yes, it prompts you, absolutely. Instead of setting up a zillion calendar reminders, it's all in the system.
There. And they have great support, amazing training. So there's as much training as you want to absorb from that, which is brilliant. And everybody's willing to share what works for them, how they've done it. So when they first started.
Okay, so you've got a bit of a community. Is it a community with like local UK or even Cornwall based?
Yes, it is. So we've got a WhatsApp.
Worldwide?
We've got a WhatsApp Cornwall Devon group. So Southwest. But then within the UK, there's 720 agents now around the UK.
Right.
And we refer to people. So I had an email today from someone saying, I've got hot buyers I've sold their house, but they're looking down in Cornwall. They've got 1.2 million to spend. This is what they want. Nice. So I had a chat with him and said, right, give me some more detail, and I will keep my eyes and ears open.
That's really nice. So you can collaborate.
Yeah, there's a lot of cross-pollination.
Yes. I tell you, the ethos of this is so beautiful because people often see other people who do the same things as competition, or others refer to them as competition, but that it's not competition. No. They are colleagues.
No, exactly.
And you work together.
Yeah, we work together. And I always say to people, if they're putting the house on the market, get 3 agents over. See who you gel with, see who you connect with.
Yeah.
Because we're all different.
That's a very strong point, because you already said that the biggest surprise in this whole industry was how deep the relationship becomes with the client.
Yeah.
So then the client really needs to choose an agent.
So, from my perspective, they need to know that this is going to be a grown-up conversation. And it might not necessarily be the conversation they want to hear.
Thing is, what happens to people who just go with the agent that they say what they want to hear when their house never gets sold?
Well, it won't never get sold. It will get sold ultimately. But if somebody, like my little house that's 250,000, if I could have so easily said, yeah, I'm very happy to put it on at 250,000, but I know
that it's not going to achieve that.
That's not going to work. I know that they might have lots of views on it, maybe, but we won't get any phone calls.
So what are the difficulties of this job?
Frustration.
With?
Everything. Tech.
Or is that just your personality then? Are you a kind of like, I want to get it all done now?
I think so, but I think age has mellowed me a little, although friends might not agree with that. No, the tech. I'm not bad on tech, and I do somehow work it out.
This is what I kind of meant with the previous question of how you're getting on with all the the technology.
Yeah, I end up working it out, but it takes me far longer than it would. I mean, I nearly threw my blooming computer through the window the other day. I was fighting with TikTok trying to sort something out.
Yeah, social media remains my nemesis.
But there isn't really. I mean, I love our CRM system that we use when we list houses and we do all that, because when you're filling in those boxes and going, yes, we've had an offer, and it's fantastic and it feels really good because the client has that offer and can move on. Fingers crossed that the whole thing goes
yes,
through.
of course.
Because obviously some things don't. But so it's the frustration with tech, I think, is my biggest bugbear.
What could you do about it, though, to make your own life easier?
Buy someone in. And at
like
some point...
Get an assistant?
Yeah, at some point I will.
So how do you want to, or how can you scale this for you to build a business for yourself? So that, when we're talking about being an entrepreneur and we don't just want to do the doing, do you have any scope for scaling this business?
Yes, lots actually. So it depends on the individual because we are all our own autonomous businesses.
Right.
Some people will simply be an estate agent and do the estate agency bit and potentially have a referral network with other EXP agents around the country.
Okay.
So that is another sort of line of income that's coming into their business. Right. Okay. For other people, we have no geographical boundaries.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
It is, and EXP are looking at, we're in 27 countries as of this month.
Right.
And EXP are looking for 50 countries to take this model to other countries so that agents can build their own business and earn their own money rather than being a cog in a big corporate agency where they are being the negotiator and doing the work, but actually not being paid very much because the commissions go
to central office
up the top.
Okay.
And to the shareholders if they're a massive company.
Okay, so this is why this company is a disruptor, because they are adopting a completely different approach to all of it.
Yeah, completely different approach where everybody can build what they want to build, and whether that's being an agent in their local area, whether it's having a few agents that they work with, or whether it's going much bigger and potentially into other countries.
Okay, by the sound of it, you said that they brought this model to the UK, when was that?
2019.
So fairly recently.
Yeah, 5 years.
And that was only US and Canada, and then the UK, and now 27 countries. It's not going to take long. Probably it's going to take half the time to reach the other 20-odd countries.
Yeah.
Because it's so established now.
Yes.
So world domination.
Well, we've proven the concept.
They come, yeah.
The concept has been proven. It doesn't need to be proven. It works.
Yes, I get you.
All people need to work out for themselves is whether this would work for them, whether they would want to be their own boss and have their name front and centre. Because when your name is front and centre, you can't hide behind a brand.
But then again, this is it, that you are not just a faceless estate agent running around in a Mini, but you are the face of
Yes, I am my brand.
Absolutely.
And so anything
and people
that
buy
happens,
into you.
Yes, because we all people buy people. We know that as business owners. So it's down to us how we behave with our clients. It's down to us what we charge. Everything is down to us.
You said that it's not a franchise, so you don't have to have their branding and all the rest of it. You set up your own company and your own branding. I suppose I understand to some extent because my husband's company is like that. So he bought into an academy where he receives training and support and of course orders stuff from there. But essentially he set up his own limited company with his own branding.
So individuals can come into EXP, but also we can work with agencies who are established. So if you've got an agency with, a director and then 5 negotiators and an office, they can also now come under the umbrella of EXP, but they keep their branding.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because why change it? People
know them locally. Now.
People know them locally as that brand.
Right, yeah.
So they shouldn't change it. They should keep that brand. But there are benefits of joining with EXP and working under that umbrella.
Wow, I wouldn't have expected that sort of cross-pollination, really. But yeah, that's really quite interesting. Obviously a very complicated setup, but I'm sure that you are in it and for you it's kind of simple.
Yeah, once you know it, it's...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So from your previous media life, what sort of skills were you able to bring into this?
Well, communication is my big thing.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's my big thing. Yeah. Getting on with a cross-section of people.
Okay.
Dealing with superstars. I've met John Travolta. He was
I'm
lovely.
that jealous. Oh my God, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Radio 1 that was. I was at Radio 1 and he came in to do an interview.
He was certainly my idol.
Oh, he was just such a lovely man. So, and people like that. And Phil Collins was great on Wogan. He came in and just did the gig. Nobody in hostilities or hospitalities. We used to call it hostilities. So nobody with him. He just came in, did the show and went.
At the end of the day, they are just people as well, aren't they?
And so
everybody knows them.
Yeah, dealing with a complete cross-section of course, now I'm doing the same thing, is dealing with a complete cross-section of people. And listening is a big skill that everybody needs. So when I'm going into a property, it's it's not about me, it's about them and what they want to do. So I really like to get under the skin of people and, why they're doing what they're doing, where they're going to go to, and a bit about their lives, really. So I suppose that's why I get quite involved with people.
Yes.
So I won't go in and plonk myself down on the couch and just, start getting papers out and, taking notes about their email address and their phone number and blah, blah, blah. I'll just go in and have a chat.
Life,
I'll go in and have a chat and then have a look around the house. So there's I think people really underestimate what they bring from one job into another, because there are so many soft skills that are really important that don't get the credit that they should. Years ago, I did a talk at the Education Business Partnership.
Okay.
And it was for 17-year-olds, tough audience.
Yes,
Really
teenagers
tough
are
audience.
a very different kettle of fish.
There was one lad there, big hoofing great lad, who just sat there. We were in a horseshoe like this, and I wanted a board so I could write on it. And I thought, right, I'm going to get you. And I just stood there and said, right, okay, well, this is my background. I'm now, because I was running another business then.
Okay.
I'm running my own business. You don't need to know what that is, but what skills do you think I've taken from that business, from the media to this business? Communication came up, leadership came up, a few other things came up. And I said, right, let's talk about leadership. And I said, I tell people that I'm working with, lead me, follow me, I'll get out of my way.
Was it lead me?
Lead me,
follow
me, or get
out of my way.
Out of my way. And this kid literally shot upright and looked, and I had him. Because he didn't know what was going to happen. He thought, looking at me, I'm a middle-aged woman, probably a bit boring, probably going to be talking
his perceptions,
crap that wouldn't have interested him, had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
And suddenly there was a phrase there that got
really
him.
spoke to him.
And it's like, you know, what you're doing now is one little step. Each day is one step towards a much bigger picture. The future you, exactly, good phrase. The future you, and all of those little pathways that you take will get you to where you want to go. But unless you know where you want to go, you won't know how to get there. You won't get there. And it won't be a straight road. It won't be a straight line. It will have curves and bends and hiccups and mountains and hillocks and tufts of grass and all sorts. And you will fall over. But the only way you will fail is if you give up. So, yeah, those skills have I think, served me well doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, in various places I've worked.
What other interesting skills or you know exactly where I'm going with this.
I know exactly where you're leading me now. You are leading me now.
Yes, you gave me the information I've got to run
I know,
with it.
and I did realise that. So I know an actress who was an actress a very long time ago, and I went to a charity dinner that she was hosting. And I ended up chatting to a chap who, when I said, what do you do? He said he had clubs.
Okay.
So in my head, I thought, nightclubs. Fine, okay. So unbeknownst to me, he was watching me that night talk to the chap who owned this beautiful house we were in, and the 23-year-old waiter and various other people, and just talking to everybody.
Okay.
And my friend rang me that following week and said, Kate, darling, Stephen was very taken with you. I went, oh, right, okay. He said, he'd love to have a coffee. So I said, well, actually, I'm in London next week. I'm sure I'll have time to catch up. You do know what he does? And I went, well, he's got clubs. They're gentlemen's clubs.
Did the penny drop?
The penny dropped very quickly. And I went, oh, my goodness, now I'm intrigued. So I did.
Rather than scared of you, are intrigued.
No, fascinated. So I did go up and have a coffee with him, and he did say to me, would you come and help manage one of my clubs?
Okay, in London. In
London. And I thought, well, I've never done anything like this before. And I'm a great believer in not saying no, but just finding out a bit more information.
Yeah.
Because why not?
I mean, exactly.
Why not? And so, cut a long story short, I did end up co-managing. In fact, I was in 2 of these clubs. Fascinating. Oh my goodness, just fascinating. I did it for 9 months, and I'm suited and booted in these clubs.
Okay.
And they were beautiful, and I had to go and view them because I wanted to know that everything was above board, and you know the people were looked after, and the girls were lovely, the waiters were lovely, the bar staff were lovely, everybody was fab. So much legislation, I cannot tell you the amount of hoops and paperwork and everything, because of course they have to have that.
Right.
The council have to know that everything is
above board,
above board.
Yeah, and all legal and everything.
But it was a fascinating 9 months, and all sorts of people coming through those doors. And I used to just get chatting to people at the bar. In fact, I got offered 2 jobs. I got offered 2 jobs while I was there.
What sort of jobs were you offered?
One in finance, and I don't, because I was working for him. Obviously, I didn't.
So by now you left media.
Yeah. So at this point, I'd been staff, and then I'd been freelance, and hadn't and done a lot of corporate presenting as well for companies, which was good fun. But yeah, it was. I'm so glad I did it, actually. Really glad I did it.
It brought you a very different life experience.
My husband had a story to dine out on.
How long had you been married at that point?
Oh God, years. Yeah, I always said I'd get married once, and he is my current husband.
He's still your current husband.
Still my current husband.
Still your current husband.
Yeah, still my current husband.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, long time. It was 2017, so not a huge amount of time ago.
Oh, okay.
I was doing it, yeah.
Oh, right, the club you were doing recently.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it was 2017.
So you almost went from the club. Well, not quite, actually. No, a few years in between.
Time.
Yeah,
there was a bit of time. Retirement, no.
So any
not a word in my vocabulary.
Any good stories from your club?
Probably.
Because of years,
probably, but probably not that I can talk about.
Fair enough. But still, you said people from all walks of life.
All walks of life
came through the doors. But there's still people, aren't they? Just ordinary folk.
Yeah, we had couples come in.
Yeah.
We had groups.
Yeah, I was going to ask that actually. That it's not exclusively for men, is it?
No, we had one group actually that was a really eclectic mix of guys, and there were about 20 of them, and I was thinking, oh crikey, I'm going to have to keep an eye on them. So I deliberately positioned myself so that when they came out of the dance sort of area, that they'd have to walk past me to get to the gents. And at that point I said, oh, hi, I'm Kate. I'm one of the managers in here tonight. Let's have a chat. And it was brilliant. They were brilliant, this group, and you would never have put these guys together. And one of them was a rapper. Okay. And I wouldn't have known that if I'd fallen over him. Yeah. But I found that out at the end. And they were all in the music business, so hence the diversity amongst them. And at the end, I went up and said, I have to say, I said, when you guys first wandered in, I was like, I'm going to keep an eye on you lot. But I have to say, you've been fabulous. Thank you so much for being respectful to the girls, respectful to the staff. And
just came in to have a bit of fun and enjoy themselves.
Exactly, and blow off some steam type thing. They were like, Kate, you need to come out for a beer with us. It was lovely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was lovely. So all sorts of people, and I still have people in my phone.
Brilliant.
Club, because they ring me and say, you in tonight? And I go, no, we're coming over tonight.
It was years ago.
It was no, I meant when I was doing it. At the time. They'd ring me and see if I was at the club tonight.
Oh, brilliant. So people came to see you rather than the show.
Well, I don't know about that, but they were calling saying, are you around later? So
that's fantastic. So obviously you built some brilliant rapport with your customers. And that's exactly what you're doing now.
It's a long game.
I meant to ask you earlier, I don't know if it's, again, a bit of a sort of controversial thing, that do you prefer sellers or buyers as clients?
Oh, do you know what? It's not the person, it's the process.
Okay.
So I'm a haggler.
Right.
And that bit is the bit I love. So if I'm working for a buyer, I want to get the property that they're buying at the cheapest possible price.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, especially in this market, if you're not embarrassed about your offer, it's too high.
Okay.
When I'm working...
That's very thought-provoking.
But some people don't like the haggle.
No, I must admit, I
I love it.
I don't quite know how to do it, sort of thing. That's so much not like
I
me,
love
but,
it.
yeah.
I mean, story about, I'm digressing, going to Morocco with my daughter, and we had to go and get some cash out.
Okay.
We were in Marrakesh. Only
You
for
can't haggle
4
with
or
the cash
5 days.
machine, you know.
No. But no, yeah, I tried, failed. So we were going to get some money out, and this chap just sort of wandered up past us and was chatting, and I talked to anybody and everybody. And we were talking, and he said about the Berbers, the guys in the mountains that come down, they make leather gear and they do all this sort of thing. And once a month they come down to the souk to sell their wares.
Yes.
So I said, okay, that's interesting. And he said, I can show you where it is. And I said, look, I've got no cash. I'm going to get some cash out. I've got no cash at the moment. And he went, no, it's fine. So would you like to come? So my 17-year-old daughter's with me at the time.
Right.
And so I said, yeah, let's go. So Mia's looking at me, and so we go to this house, which is in a different part of the souk. So it's really quiet.
Didn't it feel dodgy?
No, it didn't at all, actually. Did
it turn out to be dodgy?
No,
oh,
it
okay,
wasn't.
fair
No,
enough.
it didn't. Oh, you've ruined the story there, Ildiko. Yeah, it was really dodgy. No, it wasn't. So we left the main bazaar bit,
right,
and we went off and we were chatting away, and his English was great, and we were talking. Anyway, we got to this house, and we went in, and there was this chap there, and his robes and everything.
Yeah.
And he had some rugs and things, and some bags and various other bits. And we ended up buying 3 things. One of the bags, it's like like the doctor's bag.
Yes.
Yeah, I still use
like
as
a
an
travel
overnight
bag.
bag.
Kind of, yeah,
exactly. And so we bought a couple of things, and they don't speak it there. They write it down.
Okay.
So they had a piece of paper, and he wrote down the number that he wanted for these 3 items on the top.
Okay.
And then he gave it to me, and at the
Right at the bottom,
I wrote it down.
Brilliant.
And Mia looked at me and she went, Mum, you can't. I went, I bloody can. So I gave it back to him, and he sort of, did this. So he wrote another number, and then it came back to me, and I wrote a number, and then he wrote a number. We did this 5 times.
Yeah.
And he said to me at the end, he said, this normally happens 3 times. You are not British, you are Moroccan. So I got my 3 things, and I was very happy with my price, and he was okay, I think, with what he got. But that's the negotiation bit.
So if he wrote first,
yeah,
and then you second,
yeah,
it goes on 3 times.
Yeah, but we did it 5 times.
Yeah, but the thing is, at what point would the agreement be made if it normally happens at 3 times? You know what I mean? At what point? Because he had to carry on.
He had to carry on, or there was no deal.
Or is it that people normally accept the seller's third price?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
then.
exactly, because they go, oh yeah, go on then.
So you took the paper back from him? Oh, right, okay. Because I imagine there is like this unspoken...
Yeah, no, because I wrote, and we were still too far apart. So I wrote my 3rd price, and then I handed it back to him.
Okay.
So he had to then put another price down, and then I wrote my price, and I gave it back to him.
You are hardcore, aren't you?
Until he agreed with what I'd written.
Did you kind of meet in the middle?
Not quite.
Did it go your way? I
Obviously.
imagine it did. So what happened then? Because you said you hadn't actually gone to the cash point at that
No,
point.
but he had a card machine.
Oh, okay.
He had a card machine.
Mind you go to
Of course
countries
he
and
had a card machine.
beggars in the traffic have card machines. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. I love Morocco. I love it. It's 3.5 hours flight away from here, and it's another world.
My husband is picking up after this interview. Can you please tell him about Morocco? I want to go to Morocco, and he doesn't, and I don't know why.
Just stay in a riad, and it's just beautiful, so hospitable. We had a great time. As 2
fabulous,
as 2 women, really.
Okay. Oh, so you just went with your daughter?
Yeah, I just went with my daughter.
Wow. I just cannot believe that you went off out of the market with a man. That's supposed to be dangerous.
No, well, I think you can gauge.
Fair enough.
I think you can gauge things.
Oh, I'm too gullible.
Yeah,
God, I would probably end up being raped or something.
No, I've done various boxing, and I might look little, but I pack a punch.
Fair enough.
So it's to get back to your original question. I thought you liked that little story.
Yeah.
It depends. It's the process. It's the negotiation that I love. So I don't mind whether I'm working for a buyer or a seller, because if I'm working for a seller, I want to rinse the buyer.
Yeah, I was going to say, as an agent, don't you earn your commission when you're selling?
Yeah.
So when you work for a buyer, who pays your commission?
The buyer.
Who pays your time?
But there's a choice. So they either pay 1% of the purchase price,
Okay.
or 25% of what I save them.
Interesting. But they have to choose beforehand. That's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? You are hardcore, properly. That's brilliant. Mind you, I imagine that you've got some kind of an idea about things.
Yeah, and
That's quite interesting. So do these buyers come out of the area?
yes, I had a Swiss couple recently.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
So not even just somewhere in the country, but abroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were trying to move everything over to the UK, and they couldn't. They're not allowed. Brexit, 90 days. They could come for 90 days.
Switzerland wasn't in the Union anyway.
No, but they want to move, but they're not. They're still not allowed. So they couldn't come here. They couldn't bring their pensions here. They couldn't bring their money here to spend in the UK. Immigration wouldn't allow them.
Oh, wow. How crazy. So you couldn't actually go ahead to
No,
find
so we
home.
did actually find a property for them. We did find a property. I'm still in touch with them. And saying, and they're actually looking at something in France. They found something in France, so they're going to move there.
Oh, fair enough.
But they couldn't. Yeah, they wanted to come to Cornwall because they'd
How
been coming
crazy.
here for years on holiday, and they wanted to come to
Oh,
Cornwall.
wow.
I was really sad for them. Really sad.
And you probably northern France would kind of mirror it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit. So
Yeah. So they go.
and hopefully they'll be happy there.
Yeah, but they still send me the odd WhatsApp message, which is
That's nice.
really good.
I'm going to go back to you throwing a punch. So what do? Do you do any exercise?
I do yoga.
Do you actually do any self-defense classes or anything?
I wouldn't mind doing a bit of jiu-jitsu, I have to say.
Okay.
But I box. I did a boxing class and actually took my husband, so it was a mixed class. And because you use pads and things, and we had big heavy bags to box with, and they were great. And he would just hit, because you just sort of pad down and you meet the punch. So you don't wait for the punch; you're meeting it.
Okay.
And I did a couple here in Wadebridge, actually, when I first came at the leisure centre there, and it was really interesting because there was a guy there he was just like, I went, no, hit them. I said, it's fine.
So what, is it like a class where you just get paired with whoever is there?
Yeah, you just sort of, whoever's there, and the women tend to go together, and I think, I don't know if I got in late or something, but there was this chap, and I went, oh, that's fine, and he was quite tall, and I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
And I went, no, you can hit them, you can hit the pads, I'll meet the, So bless him, he didn't want to throw a punch.
The thing is, when you meet in the middle, isn't it too much?
No, you're better off, because otherwise you get pushed back.
It gets your
so
shoulder.
your shoulders are not good. So what you do is you meet.
Okay.
So you have them
so
here.
how are your elbows protected then in that
Well,
shock?
it's only a big pad, so you have a big pad on your hand. So it's fine.
Not really. Okay.
No, you
fair
just
enough. I don't know. It sort of scares me because I've got arthritis in my elbow as well. So the whole concept was just scary to me.
Yeah.
That when I get hit,
yeah,
it
because
would
if you're meeting it, you're meeting that force.
Shockwave in my wrist, my elbow.
Yeah. No, because if you don't meet it, it can push you back.
Right.
So you could then do damage, basically.
Right,
But
okay.
if you're there and you're pushing as well,
Then you've got control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That certainly
So that
sounds
was
like
good
it
fun.
keeps you fit.
Yeah, it was good fun. And I love my yoga.
How often do you do it?
3 times a week. But with business now, it's like, oh God, I'm missing yoga again. So I've got my mat out at home, because the hardest part of it is getting the mat out.
Okay. So you found a space for it
So
to
my
just be
mat
out.
is in a room and it's out, and I've got a couple of little 3 kilo and 5 kilo weights in there as well that I use.
So when you feel like it or you've got a little bit of time, you just go and do it.
Yeah, but
Best way to
my
be.
son's a CrossFit trainer.
Okay.
I trained with him for a while, and he used to finish me off with burpees, and I hate freaking burpees with a passion. And he said to me, I said, Max, you know I hate freaking burpees. He went, Mum, do you know why you hate them? I went, no. He said, because you're shit at them, do more. And I thought, fair point, well made,
Let me have a wild
actually.
guess where he got his straight talking from.
I went, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that,
That's brilliant.
So, yeah, bless him,
But they work.
getting his own back.
They work. They keep you fit.
Oh, yeah, and you don't need a big space to do them. That's the
No,
thing.
not at all, no.
So you're using your body weight. So
Yes,
body weight exercises.
best one.
So it's fantastic. You don't need equipment
True.
You don't
I mean,
need to
that's what I do. I just get up in the morning and exercise in my lounge.
Yeah.
I don't even need a mat. I've got carpet.
Yeah.
But yeah, just do all sorts of little bits of 10, 15, 20 minutes exercises, depending on how much time I have.
And stretching as well. Stretching is so underrated.
Yeah,
So underrated.
more than anything, I started with, I love this. I started with moving every bit of joint, if possible. Just loosen up all my joints, especially with the arthritis.
Yes, of
that's really
course.
quite important, rather than stretching. And then I finished it with a Phoebe run.
Ah, right.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
From Friends.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the lounge, I just do a bit of a Phoebe run, and I love it because it makes me smile.
Indeed.
You know, it really sort of helps with that happy feeling, and then get on with my exercise.
You certainly, as you get older, you realise that you have to do more. And little things people can do is, balance is a big part. And obviously in yoga we do quite a bit of balance.
Yes.
But just literally, if you're peeling potatoes or cleaning your teeth, stand on one leg.
Yeah.
Just swap legs, stand on the other
Without
leg.
leaning.
Because if you haven't got the balance, you've got the counter there, or you've got a sink there that you can hang on to.
If you need to,
But also, if you're standing on one leg, you can't throw a hip out. You've got to stand up. So it's also good for your core.
Yes, absolutely.
So any time that people are stood, just stand on one leg.
That's really good. Yeah, it strengthens so many different muscles.
Yeah. Getting up and down from a
But
sofa.
the thing is, like, you can imagine standing on one leg doing your teeth and then just falling
Depends
over.
on how much red wine you've had the night,
True.
the night before.
But I went to see an osteopath the other day, and I wanted to show him how my knee clicks a particular way when I do the joint loosening. But of course, that happens first thing in the morning. So when I was doing this at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it wasn't clicking, so I couldn't actually demonstrate it to him. But what happened, I was standing on one leg, sort of twisting my lower leg to show what happens to my knee. And he was really quite surprised. Like, you can balance. And I'm like, yes, I can. Why shouldn't I be able to? I don't know what he said, but it's because Monday to Friday I exercise, and then Saturday we go to the gym together with my husband, and then on Fridays I do yoga kind of exercises. And when you hold the position for a period of time and balance yourself, it moves different muscles and moves the muscles in a different way, doesn't it?
But balance is so important because people fall, and when they fall, and if they break a hip, that is catastrophic.
Absolutely.
I mean, my father-in-law lived with us for 5 years, but he was in the Navy, but he was a gymnast.
Okay.
And it wasn't very often actually, but he would, if he tripped over something, he would rectify it. He never fell.
Okay, so you need really good reflexes for that.
He was 89 when he died, and he never had a fall. But my dad was constantly falling.
That's strange.
And that's the difference, because Norman had that core strength, presumably.
From being a gymnast.
That muscle memory from being a gymnast and having the balance from being a gymnast.
Yeah, the reflex,
and he would always
the flexibility.
be able to rectify when he was almost going over. So it's very, very important the older you get. And as I've been told, I'm going to live to 96, which my daughter was seriously pissed off about.
Oh, well.
I'll need it.
A little bit of humour for the next 30 years. That's fine,
Absolutely. Yeah, my husband wasn't best pleased either.
Well, you might outlive him and then he doesn't need to be pleased, or not.
No, he's like, I'm going to live to 97 just to piss you off.
I tend to talk about routine with my guests, and a couple of areas we covered already. Obviously, the physical health, you do yoga, and intellectual health, because you've just not long started a business. Obviously, you're learning loads of things about it. You better your intellectual health, I expect, quite regularly. What about mental health and spiritual health? What do you do for stress management? Do you find yourself in a lot of stressful situations with your job?
No, because I don't feel like I'm stressed. Even though I'm in the middle of it, it's not happening to me.
That's a really, really good view. Because the stress is probably happening to the buyers and the sellers because they're moving home,
exactly.
They are changing their lives.
Exactly.
But you are not changing your life.
It's them that it impacts on.
How do you deflect their stress then?
What do you mean deflect?
Well, if you feel that your customers are stressing out over the whole situation.
How do I bat it back? Well,
yeah. How do you not take it home with you?
I don't know. I just don't. I know I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I'll talk about it. So I'll have conversations with my husband about, what's happened during the day or what's gone wrong sometimes.
But it's just someone else's story.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, even as I was asking the question, what was going through my mind, that the way your personality comes across, I can't really see you particularly stressed, although you have already mentioned nearly throwing out your computer. So
that was just that. Yeah, that was just just annoying. But I don't think I do actually. But spiritually, yes. In my previous life, I would not have said I was spiritual.
Is that in your media life?
My media life.
Previous life,
Yeah. But I'm far more so now.
I don't know if it comes with age a little bit.
Maybe a little bit is age.
Just sort of,
But all this universe bollocks that people talk about, that would have been my phrase.
Yeah, and what is it now?
20 years ago. There's something there. There's something in it. Your subconscious mind has to work off of something.
Yeah.
Because if our conscious brain, God, I didn't think I'd be talking about this. If our conscious brain doesn't give our subconscious brain something to focus on, then our subconscious will pick its own thing and it will catastrophize. And it will go, the monkey brain. There's a book, yes. The Monkey Mind. The Monkey Mind?
I have listened to it.
You know the one I mean.
I know which one you mean,
so
yeah.
If
love that book.
If we're not giving it something to think about and to focus on,
then it
will go and find its own shit to focus on.
And try and put you off whatever you want to do.
Consciously, we have to
program the computer.
Reinvent our brain and reprogram the synapses and the little electrical pulses and the wiring through our brain. And I mean, it's called neuroplasticity, and we can do that. So if they talk about muscle memory in sport,
yes,
don't they? And if the repetition of doing something over and over and over and over again, it's like a habit. Over again, it becomes the norm. It's like driving.
Yes,
when do
absolutely.
we think about driving? Whereas when we start, it's like, mirror, signal, manoeuvre. We're constantly thinking about it, but then it becomes second nature. So if we're trying to, and I do believe we can, if we are trying to get a different habit in the brain, we can sort of kill off the old habit by not doing the old habit.
Yes, absolutely.
But reinforcing the new habit.
That makes every bit of sense. And that's exactly what's happening when you're introducing new habits into your life. Over a period of time, they become the norm. It's like my morning routine started with 7 minutes exercise some 3 years ago, and I then started adding other things now. And then I had to write down timings, like how long am I doing this for and that for, and figure out, okay, if I want to start work at this time, when do I need to get up in order to fit everything in?
Yeah.
And then over time, I added other things. Now, I know that if I get out of bed at X time, at the next, at time Z, I'll be able to sit down at my desk and start work. And I don't have to think about what time I need to do what. Yeah. I know that then everything will fit into that time frame. You're absolutely right about that. And with the because compounding works both ways. You start doing something not so good, like putting a spoonful of sugar in your coffee every morning. Give it 10 years, you'll be so overweight, and you've got to wonder, where did it come from?
Yeah, but this compound effect.
Absolutely. And if you start doing something good. This is exactly what I'm basing my routine mentoring on, is that you don't have to set aside hours and hours and whatever massive things in your life. All you need to do is find little pockets of time in your day.
And do a little bit each day.
And do tiny little things to make your own life easier and better in order to cope better, to look after your health and run a better business.
Yeah. And it works the same in business as well, those little habits that we form or don't form. Which can sabotage us indeed. Or help us to move forward. Spiritually, I think there's a lot that we don't understand, and it does fascinate me.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No.
It's a bit like some people have the dog policy. I call it the dog policy. Like my dog used to do, I don't know if you have a dog or ever had one.
I have,
but the dog would look away and act like you are not there. And it's like, just because you're not looking at me doesn't mean I don't exist. So, just because you can't see or fully understand something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, like the universe.
In my previous business, I put together a dream book. Okay. I bought this beautiful book, It's multicoloured, lots of swirly patterns on it, and on the front it says "Create the life you love."
Yeah.
And I bought the book because I do like a bit of stationery, and I thought I'll get it. Whether I'll do anything with it or not is
It's still a nice book.
And against my better judgment, I did do something. I was thinking, this is a complete waste of time. This was my mindset then. And I got it out the other day to show somebody.
And did you go on? This has come true.
Just
that has come true.
Shivers down my spine, because I turned a page, and on the page was a picture of an island in a kitchen. Not an island. I haven't bought an island.
Yeah, suddenly I thought island. Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I bought Barbados. A picture of an island in a kitchen, and it's my island in my kitchen. It's my kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is
and you
I did
got
this
that
years
picture
ago.
how many years ago?
Oh God.
5, 10, 15?
10. Well, we're now 25. Yeah, maybe 9, 8, 10 years ago. And then I turned over the page, and there's another picture of a 4-poster bed in a bedroom. And there's a 4-poster bed in one of our bedrooms.
Yeah.
And then there was a picture of a library, and we've got it's not quite a library, but it's I keep books. I'm very anal with books. I read them without breaking the spine. Oh yeah,
nice.
Which people probably wouldn't believe, but yeah, I can't bear broken spines on books. And so we have a floor-to-ceiling wall that our builders put in of bookshelves for a wall of books.
But you obviously
envisaged
all of this.
This was in my book. And then I turned the page, and there was a few pictures of India, which we did last year.
Oh, I'd love to go to India.
And it was like, crikey. And I was sat there going to this, I can't remember even who it was that I was showing it to, going, oh, I need to put some more pictures in this.
I was just about to ask you. So what are the pictures that are going in there, let's say, for the next 10 years?
Travel. I want to do a bit more travel, but it's all wildlife stuff. So I'd love to go to the Galapagos. I will be going to see the gorillas in Rwanda, because we were going to do that just before COVID hit. I was talking to somebody that was leading a trek, and we were going to trek to Mountains of the Moon, which I'd never heard of. But
Sounds magical.
We did Base Camp Everest in 2018. And so this is 5,000 metres, like base camp. So you're over 5,000 metres, which is high altitude stuff. I mean, it's not Everest, 8,000 odd, but it's still high altitude. And so we were going to trek up there, and then we were going to come back down to the lowland gorillas.
Right.
But when COVID hit, it was like, it wasn't a cheap trip, and it was like, let's just be sensible for once and not do that. And we may not do the Mountains of the Moon trek, but I will certainly go and converse with gorillas. And whale watching. We all paddy dive, actually, and I'd love to do a shark dive.
Nice. But is it like in a cage or
I'd love to do a
with
cage,
them?
great white shark dive. Well, that's not diving. That's you're just with a snorkel.
Get lowered,
Yeah, just lowered.
Still.
But we all dive.
Does it work like they actually put some feed in the water and the sharks come?
Yeah, they mash or whatever it's called. They sort of, and that brings in the critters.
And I must admit that in Antigua we went to swim with the rays. So
Oh,
they're wild
amazing.
rays.
Yeah.
It's just people started feeding them or whatever. So it
Yeah,
obviously started off
yeah.
somehow. So there's like
So they know.
two trips a day.
Yeah.
And the guides do say that it's different ones who come. They know some of them. And some of the rays, it's pretty amazing. Some of the rays actually have some of the guides as their friends, kind of thing. Like literally, like a particular ray would come to the particular guy and would just sit in their arms and just be with them.
Amazing.
But then when the tour is over, they just go back out into the ocean and they are wild. They just know that twice a day they might get some food.
Yeah.
And holding, I followed the advice exactly.
Yeah.
So holding the race, it wasn't flapping, it was just the most
on your
magical
arm. Yeah, I bet. Oh gosh,
thing.
that's
I
fantastic.
loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried that it'll be like cordoned off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because
like a
some
cage
really,
almost.
Really varied feedback on this whole tour
Right.
on TripAdvisor. But when we went, it was magical, and it was really, really good to see.
Well, they choose. I mean, I know they're coming in for food,
exactly.
but
and it's not the same every day.
That's
and
good.
every time.
Yeah.
So they can indeed choose
yeah,
to
they
come
just
or go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fab. All of that, we went over to, because we sponsor a little boy in Tanzania, a little Maasai boy through school, and we went with a trip to them, and it was amazing. And I'd like to do a bit of volunteering, I think, out in Africa. I love Africa.
How are you going to fit all of this travel into your work life?
Oh, it'll happen. They'll find a way.
Fair enough.
I'll find a way. But yeah, that's something that we both want to do. And I mean, I have talked about a camper van, but I'm not sure my husband's that keen on a camper van.
I tell you what.
I don't do camping.
No, I would say that if you go to festivals, I would probably like to go glamping nowadays.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go travelling in a camper van. I mean, one of the best times was staying in a caravan for a month when we moved from London to here. This was with my ex-husband. We had no television, a caravan just outside Loo.
Oh, lovely.
So we would stop by the sea on the way home because we could. Now, coming out of London, that was magical. Yeah. But just simply being ever so close to nature. I mean, when it was a stormy night, I wasn't quite so happy. I was really panicking, but that's a different story. But I just really love the simplicity of it. I love the way they are constructed, actually, because I think design-wise, caravans are absolutely brilliant, that everything is so practical.
Yeah.
And having no television and just having fresh air.
And being able to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I loved it.
Choice. Yeah, life is all about choices.
Yes. And we wisen up to it as we get a little bit older, don't we?
Yeah, because we never know. We never know. So.
Well, apparently you do.
I do.
You're going to go to 96. You've been told.
I've got 30 odd more years.
There you go. That's set in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit like price of a house. It's set in their mind.
So where do you see yourself in 10, 20, 30 years with business-wise? Would you think about setting up another business?
No, because I love this. I think
and you're just looking at scaling this one.
Yeah, I've loved my career in the media. That was just, I never ever thought I'd do anything else, to be honest.
Okay.
And I was fortunate to be able to do a lot of stuff. And
why did you leave?
Well, I took redundancy, actually.
Right, fair enough.
And then 5 weeks later, I was back in freelancing. So I freelanced.
So they couldn't afford to pay you on the payroll. They could afford to pay you on freelance.
So I freelanced for 10 years, and then I could work with other. So that was when I was doing a bit of the presenting for companies in their sales conferences and things like that, and that was quite good fun. And then work. I think the budgets were being cut, and I was very useful because I could direct and I could present and I was stage managed. So I did a number of different jobs within the news setup. And then the phone just stopped ringing.
Okay.
It was bizarre. And every year I'd joke to my colleagues saying, oh, well, I won't be back next financial year because the budgets are being cut and they can't afford me type thing. And then one year it did happen. It was just the most crazy thing. I think I did one day in the February when I was used to doing 3-4 days a week.
Gosh, that's
yes. And it was like, oh, I'm going for lunch and I'm having a nice time. And then I thought, I need something to do now because obviously this has come to its natural end. But yeah, so I've never had a proper job, really.
You're saying that because you've enjoyed your jobs too much?
Yeah, I do. And what I'm doing now, I'm loving. And that whole helping other agents to get started, that business development bit, that's my superpower.
On that word, superpower, I think that's a really good way to end our conversation.
Oh, thank you.
I loved to hear about your superpowers.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come in and have a chat. It's
been
an absolute delight.
Share your stories with us.
Oh, so many stories. I've got a title for a book, actually. If I can say that,
When is your book coming out?
Well, no, I haven't started writing it yet because I'm too busy.
Put that in your book.
Put that in my dream book.
Put the book. You've got the title.
Yeah, put it in my dream book. So my title is An Ordinary Extraordinary Life.
Next time there'll be like the red book. Kate, this is your life. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on the sofa. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you for listening to New Business in Later Life with me, Ildiko Seeley, where we say no to slowing down and yes to starting up. Loved what you've heard? Please share it or screenshot it and tag me on socials. Let's show the world what thriving in later life really looks like and share with a friend who is ready for their next chapter. Please subscribe so you are always in the loop. And if you are ready to stop running on empty and start running on purpose, come join us. All the links are waiting in the show notes, including my guests' contacts, the Entrepreneurs Club, and a few tools and services I personally use in my business to help you thrive in yours. Until next time, refuel, refocus, reinvent.